Okay, so this is going to be a quick tutorial on stem printing. There are plenty of ways to print stems. You can do it, you can find lots of ways to on YouTube and whatever, and there are plenty of ways. I think I've even shown you how to do the track bounce, and that's a little different. But what we're going to do today is the way that I personally prefer to print stems, and probably the one that it takes the longest, but it gives you a chance to check on everything as it happens, right? Because it sucks to have it print out, to bounce a track and then you come back to it and realize, oh crap, I didn't like this part about it, and then you got to reopen the session, right? So might as well just print it right here. So the first thing we're going to do, step one, is we're going to create a new audio track. Since our original one is in mono, we're going to keep this one in mono as well. So we'll go ahead and hit create. We're going to name this track VO stem, right? And we're going to open our mixer, and we're going to basically try to send from this edit channel to this VO stem channel, right? So I'm going to go over to IO on the VO stem channel and change it to bus 1. It doesn't have to be bus 1, but it can be bus anything, just so long as you send to the same bus, right? So if I go over to our edit track and go to sends and do a send on bus 1, you'll see it's highlighted. That'll bring up this little fader guy right here that's separate, right? He exists right now to show you how much volume is traveling across bus 1. So we're going to hit option click and bring it up to unity gain. So now what we're doing is sending the edit to the stem channel's input. So now if we go over to the stem channel, hit record arm, and then go over, hit record, and hit play.
Chicken Little. Just when...
You'll see here that's the first error I made. You're going to want to mute your stem channel, otherwise it's going to double the volume, right? Because we're listening to what's coming in on the record input. So go ahead and hit mute. Now let's go ahead and record that again.
Chicken Little. Just when Chicken Little recovers from his first mistake, the sky falls again. Read along with the story of a plucky little chicken who never gives up. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear this sound. Ready? Let's begin.
Great, okay, we've now preserved our edit, right? So the edit we can now mute, and we can listen back to our stem we just printed.
Chicken Little. Just when Chicken Little recovers from his first mistake, the sky falls again. Read along with the story of a plucky little chicken who never gives up. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear this sound. Ready? Let's begin.
Awesome. So we can go ahead and tighten up the end of that really nicely. And then the other thing that's nice about doing it like this is that we can go to Audio Suite Other and normalize it. We can change the peak to like -1. The reason we're doing stuff like this is just because when you're trying to juggle all the different stems for all the chapters of all the VO, to keep things consistent, it's smart to normalize it altogether, So let's go ahead and make this a normalized of -1. So we won't have a single peak over -1. So if we keep doing our editing for all the other chapters over here, right, we now know that this first one we printed, and when we do this with all of them, we'll have all of our stems printed and normalize the same volume level. So that way when somebody goes to take all the chapter VO edits and push them together into one big final mix session, they're not going to have to juggle and mess with clip gain and all these individual spots, right? So yeah, okay. And we can shut that down. We can listen. The best part about this too is right once you've done all these stems, you can just shift OK. It'll bring up your export selected track. We'll do wave, interleave, 16-bit, 44.1. And for the destination directory, we're going to choose really quick. I have a session here called VO edit and stem printing example that we've been using this whole time. For you, this will say, your project, VO edit, whatever. I usually like to make a new folder called stems. We're going to go ahead and create, and it'll go there. So we'll open that. The other thing I forgot to do really quick is I'm going to rename this actual clip itself. We'll name it the nice way, AAMP AK VO edit CH00 for chapter 00. or title, whatever you want. But I'm going to do chapter 00 because then you can do chapter 01, 02, right? Stem, right? So now we've got project, initials, VO edit, what chapter we're doing, and then the stem. So we know that this is the final edit, right? So we hit OK. Great, Shift double K. We already set everything up earlier, but just in case, choose the directory. We'll navigate to that stems folder that we made, hit open, and we'll just export. So you can see over here on the project, I actually have the stems folder here, and then there it is. There's our stem.
Chicken Little. Just when
right? When you go ahead to hand this to the person who's going to do all the comping together of all the chapters, this is going to be great because you'll have it all in one place for all the VO edit chapters. You can do the same thing for the sound effects, whatever. But yeah, there you go. We'll call that the end. If you want to do track bounce and stuff, you can, like I said, but I prefer this method because you can normalize and see it all right there. But anywho, that'll be it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.